Welcome back to the channel Home of Programming. In today's session, I am going to disclose the answers for an online quiz we are conducting. So, we are conducting an online quiz from May 14th to May 30th. If you want to attend the quiz, you have to register with our site. So, just go to homeofprogramming.com and click on registration link to register. After registration, you have to activate your mail account so that you can log into your dashboard, right? So once you complete the registration process, you can log into your dashboard. So when you log in, you will be redirected to your dashboard where you can find your profile details and you will have an option for attending the quiz, right? So here I am logging in. Once I log on to the dashboard, I can go to the option attend quiz. When I click on attend quiz option, instruction for a quiz will be displayed. So if I click on start test, the quiz will be started, right? So this is not a time limited quiz. You can take your own time to complete the quiz. What I am going to do now is I am going to explain the answers and explain the concept of each questions, right? So here the first question is, which of the following tags specifies a URL for all related links on your page, right? So here we are having four options. One is base, another one is link, meta, and the final one is style, right? So here just we can explore these four options, right? The second option is link, which is link tag, right? This particular link tag is used whenever we are having some external CSS, right? So if you are having your CSS and HTML file separately, and if you want to link these two, you can use link tag, right? So, and what about your meta? Meta tag provides a description that will be displayed in an SEO page, right? So here the content given inside your meta tag will be displayed in the search results of your web page, right? That is, when your web page is indexed under Google results, the description that you are getting will be the content of meta tag, right? Similarly, the style tag will be used whenever we are going to use internal CSS, right? Here the question is, which of the following tags specifies a URL for all related links on a page, right? So, in our HTML series also, I have explained the purpose of base tag, right? For example, if you are having an image in another location, your HTML code in another location, so if you want to provide your image in the HTML page, you have to provide the absolute path, that is the full path of an image every time you are going to insert an image, right? Instead of this, you can provide the absolute path. For example, if you are having your images in decolon images folder, you can provide the src attribute value of your base tag to be decolon/images, right? After that, whenever you are going to provide an image, you can provide only the name of that particular image. For example, if you are having some image in decolon images/image1.jpg, if you have provided your absolute path in base tag, you can provide the src for your image tag as image1.jpg itself, right? So the answer for this particular question is base, right? So then the second question is, which one of the following 2D function is used to increase or decrease the size of an HTML element, right? So here translate, right? This function will move the particular object from a specified location to some other location, right? So translate function is to move a object from one position to another position, right? So to rotate an object to some other degrees, we can use rotate of, right? This skew function is used to rotate an specified object to some other degrees, right? So for example, if you are having a rectangle object at 180 degree, if you want to rotate the object to 90 or 360 degree, you can use skew function, right? So the question is, which of the 2D function is used to increase or decrease the size of an HTML element? So not only HTML element, in general graphics, to increase or decrease the size of your element, you have to use the function scale of, right? So which one of the following tags specify the content of columns of the table, right? So here we are having 4 options: T, caption, TH, TR and TD, right? So here to specify a column you have to use the tag TD. Which one of the following CSS properties is used to split a web page string into multiple sections vertically, right? So this we have discussed in our web series of HTML. So to divide your web screen into multiple portions, we can use the CSS property flex, right? So you can provide a percentage for each section, right? Which one of the following can be used to remove a certain portion of a rectangle? To create a rectangle, we can use the function rectof, right? With specified coordinates such as x and y axis and width and height of the rectangle, right? Similarly, we can remove a particular portion of a rectangle with the help of clear rectof function with the coordinates as x and y, width and height, right? So I am giving the link in our description box for checking the videos related to these HTML quiz, right? So here, choose the invalid predefined macro in C, right? Let me tell you what exactly a macro is, right? So macro is nothing but a textual description for a value, right? For example, so if you want to create a value, right? So in C we are having preprocessors such as stdio.h, which is for using your input and output functions, right? So inside this program I am going to use the value such as int max equal to 100, right? So I can define the value of maximum variable to 100, right? So in this particular program, whenever I want to use this particular value of max, I have to use it as max variable, right? So an alternative to this is we can define this max as a macro. So to define a macro, you should use the preprocessor directive hash. After that, you should use the keyword define. After that, your macro. So let's see max. This is our macro, right? So this max is an custom defined macro, which is user defined macro, right? So we can set the value to the macro, right? So hereafter, whenever we want to use the value of 100, we can use the name of the macro, which is max. Not only for variables, So to replace this open and close braces with some other keywords, you can do that. Hash define right. So wherever you want to use the term begin, it will be replaced with this open braces, right? So this is the purpose of macro, right? So here the question is choose the invalid predefined macro in C, right? So the option we are having is file, date, time and C++, right? So the answer for this question is C++, right? So C++ is not a predefined macro in C, right? So here this file macro is used to store the file in a string literal, right? That is the name of a file in string literal. Date and time macros are used to store the date and time values, right? So the date value will be stored in the format mmddyyy, that is 06081995 will be in the order month, date and your year should be in 4 letters, right? So similarly time macro will store the value of time in hours, minutes and seconds, that is HH:MM:SS, right? So this is a way with which you can use and define your macros. Let's move on to the next question. What is a built-in library function to compare two strings, right? So ST or CMP is the right option, right? So which is string compare of. In C program, we are having separate functions for processing our string, which will be available inside the string.h header files, right? So here the correct option for your comparing two strings is ST or CMP of, right? So let's move on to our next question. Which of the following is the correct operator to compare values? So note one thing here. The previous question was which is a built-in library function to compare two strings. So the question is about the predefined function of C, which is ST or CMP of. Whereas the next question is which of the following is the correct operator to compare values? That is, in C program, at some cases we will compare two values. For example, if you want to provide a condition based on two values, you will use if block, in which you will provide a condition of comparing two values, right? So in such cases you have to use the operator double equal to, right? This single equal to operator assigns the value to a variable. Equal is not an operator in C, and similarly concurrent is also not an operator in C, right? So let's move on to next question. The answer for this question is double equal to, which compares two values of similar data type. What will happen in a C program if you assign a value to an array element whose subscript exceeds the size of an array, right? So array stores the data of stores the data values of similar data type, right? The drawback of array is the memory size of an array should be provided in a compile time itself, right? So for example, if you are creating an array of size 5 and you are attempting to provide 10 elements for your arrays, right? So what will happen? This is our question, right? So try to understand the question first. What will happen if in a C program you assign a value to an array whose subscript exceeds the size of an array? So this is a format for creating an array, right? Int a of 5. Here a is an array of subscript 5. So here this particular array can accommodate maximum of 5 values, right? That is 0, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So totally 5 values. The starting index of an array is 0, right? So the question is, if we attempt to provide a values beyond 5, what will happen? So in case of an C program, the program will crash, right? Because in C program there are no predefined functions to handle this situation. So this will result in crash of your program, right? Whereas if it is in Java or any other higher languages, the compiler will be designed in such a manner to handle such exception situation effectively, right? So as it is as the question is in case of a C program, the answer is the program may crash if some important data is overridden. So let's move on to the next question. In which stage hash include gets replaced by the content of file stdio.h? For example, if you are having hash include stdio.h header file, at which stage of your C program this content of hash include stdio.h is replaced by the content of this file stdio.h, right? So normally a C program can have 4 processes. The first one is pre-processing, the second one is compilation, third one is assembly, and the last process is linking, right? So at pre-processing, the content of stdio.h, that is the content of the respective directive, will be replaced, right? So what will happen in a pre-processing phases? So the lines starting with the directive hash will be interpreted by your C preprocessor as preprocessor command, and your compiler will replace the content with the content of your stdio.h, right? The second phase is compilation, in which your language is converted into an assembly language, right? The third phase is assembly. At this stage, assembler translate your assembly instruction to object code. The final stage is linking, in which the object code generated in your previous stage, which is the object code generated in your assembly stage, will be composed of machine instruction, right? So to produce an executable program, these pieces of object code should be rearranged, so which is known as linking. I hope you are clear with these 4 processes of C program. The first process is pre-processing, in which the compiler interprets all the lines that starts with the directive hash and replace its content with the content of stdio.h. This is all about your pre-processing stage. And in the next stage, the code of your language, that is the source code, will be translated into machine code, which is assembly language code. This phase is known as compilation, and the third phase is assembly. In this phase, the assembly code generated in previous stage will be converted into an object code, and finally in the linking stage, all these object code will be rearranged in order to produce an executable program. So the answer for this particular question is pre-processing, right? Let's move on to our next question. which of the following is not a Java keyword, right? So here we are having four options. One is static, int, keys and interface, right? So static is a keyword, int is a keyword, interface is a keyword. Keys is not a predefined keyword in Java. So the answer for this question is keys, right? Choose the correct prototype of main method in Java, right? So the answer for this question is second option, which is public static void main of string args, right? So here public is an access specifier which allows the function to be accessed from anywhere inside a program, right? So static is a keyword which is used to call the function without an object, right? So here void is a return type of a function, which means that the function is not going to return a value. So main is the name of the method, and after that it is taking a string argument. In Java, each value is considered as a string whenever we are prompting a user or we are providing an integer or float or such kind of values. That values should be converted into strings in order to get processed. So this is a very brief description of main method in Java. We will create a series for Java. In that I will explain about this prototype of your main method in detail, right? So let's move on to next question. What is an assignment statement, right? So what exactly an assignment statement does is it assigns a value from the right hand side of the operator to left hand side of your variable, right? So equal operator will be between your variable and value, right? So the variable will be on your left hand side and the value will be on right hand side. What the assignment operator does is it will stores the value which is on right hand side of your operator to the left hand side of the operator. That is, it assigns a value to a variable, right? So here the answer is assigns a value to a variable. Which of the following classes are available in the java.lang package? So object is a class which is available inside that package, which is a base class for all the other classes in Java. Object is a main base class for all other classes in Java. So as I told you already, we will create a series of Java and series for object oriented programming concept. In each of this video, I will explain in detail about these base classes and what about a derived class and everything about Java and some OOPS concept. Identify the correct syntax of creating a variable in PHP. So in PHP, a variable name should be prefixed with the dollar symbol, right? Which function returns the data type of a variable in PHP? So PHP is a loosely coupled language which doesn't require a data type when we declare a variable. So in previous question also we declared a variable with the syntax dollar symbol followed by name of your variable. So in order to retrieve the data type of a particular variable, you should use the var dump function. Inside it, the variable should be provided as an argument, right? Which keyword is used to print a statement in PHP echo, right? Which array is used to retrieve the value sent in the URL parameter? So in PHP, $_get of array can be used to retrieve the values which is synced in the URL. So the final question is, which function determines whether the object is clicked or not? Is set off, right? So that's all about our quiz. When we click on submit exam, so you will be provided with your score. So here our score is 20 out of 20, right? So in this particular quiz, we are having 4 sections. First 5 questions are related to HTML. All these 5 questions, all the section of these 5 questions have been discussed in our HTML series. I am giving the link of HTML series in description box. Kindly check it out. And the questions 6 to 10 will be from C. 11 to 15 is from Java section. And the final 5 questions will be in PHP. So we will create a series separately for each section. That is, in our upcoming videos, we are planning to provide a web series for Java, .NET, PHP, Python and for mobile app development, right? So in each particular series, you will be able to get a clear idea of every programming languages. So in our next video, I am going to share a schedule of our videos, like which topic comes on which day, right? So this is all about our quiz video. With this, we can conclude this session and we can have the schedule of our video in our next session. Until then, stay tuned with Home of Programming and subscribe to our channel to get live updates regarding programming. Thank you.